I have learned, Reverend Louis.
Good morning, beautiful beings.
Good morning.
It is a good morning. There's something special about autumn. One of my things on my bucket list is to travel the month of October, or say maybe the 20th of September to the 20th of October. Wherever I've been during that time of year, the weather's been good. The cooler mornings, cooler evenings, and there's something special about that time of year to me. A grounded feeling, a sense of harvest is here. It's just a culmination of a busy year and a busy summer. And it brings to fruition all of the labors of love and all of the labors of agriculture and the goodness that is. So one of those days on my bucket list, I'm going to accommodate myself. The last time I bought an automobile, a couple of years ago, that was my intent was to take that trip. Well, I've taken several trips, but nothing that long, but that's still on that list. So that's my to-do. So I say welcome, and a wonderful time to share this is. Our September word of month, which has been knowledge, and Reverend Michael alluded to that, it has served us well these past 5 weeks. And we've had the opportunity to garner an intelligence, to garner a feeling of great insight into what our teaching has given us, what Dr. Holmes has allowed us to have, the gift that he has given, which is a beautiful gift, our philosophy, our way of life, the attitude that we bring to life, all supported, all with the loving grace. So I know that this teaching, the Science of Mind teaching, empowers us. It gives us a great strength. It gives us a foundation, which Reverend Michael alluded to earlier today. And it validates each and every one of us. That's the beauty of the teaching, in my opinion. And opinions are sort of like an opinion. It's what I think about it. And what you think about it is important too. So my lesson today is entitled, What I Have Learned. And I ask you, what have you learned? What have you learned during these last 5 weeks? We've had a lot of information come forth from this headset and from the interior portion, our spirit. Reverend Michael and I have shared with you what's gone on. And so let's revisit this month's lessons. We have learned that all we need to know, we already know. And that when we arrive on the earthly journey called human life, we're equipped. We're equipped. It awakens our recognition and our receiving it. That was week 1. Reverend Michael urged us in week 2 to supersize our consciousness. And I've tried to live that. It's been a great visual to me. I see that 64 ounce or that 111 ounce or whatever it is. When I think of supersize, I think big. And when we allow our consciousness to expand, I know that we're able to accept the gift that Spirit has for us. And we accept it with joy. And when we allow our truth to come to the potential of what we are, then we are living supersized. That was week 2. I shared the acronym KNOW, knowledge nudges our wisdom, in the 3rd week. And when we use that knowledge and let it be known, it carries our wisdom to bloom. And when we carry that wisdom to bloom, I like to think of it as a mental bouquet, colorful and interesting, textured, with wisdom and goodness. It has it all for us. We just need to accept that. We need to accept that. That was our 3rd week. And last week, we had a real celebration. We were able to celebrate Reverend Michael's birthday. And that was in the heart of Texas. And not only did we have the yellow rose of Texas and yellow roses, we were able to know that his celebration message brought to us that need to look toward a greater vision, an expanded vision, and the teachings of Dr. Holmes. And we know that when we do, we have those supportive religious science classes. We have meditation, we have treatment. We have all of the tools that empower us when we use Science of Mind. Well, my wonderful ones, what did you learn? And how have you experienced using the knowledge that has been given from the deists here? I hope it's been good. I know it's been good. And I can certainly tell from those in class with us that all of you are just getting all thrilled up on Emerson. We've had a great time with that. And I so honor Keith, who has had a challenge up until now with understanding Ralph Waldo. But each and every one of us have that opportunity to know that Ralph Waldo Emerson was such an influence on Dr. Holmes and the way that we traverse our religious science. Well, I know that when you have implemented the knowledge into your daily life, that it's smoother, it travels with ease, it's supportive. And I want to ask you too, are things unfolding in a timely order? We have to know that there's no time in the mind of God, that as we progress in life and as we allow our life to be lived through us, as us, our authentic life, that there's night and day, true. And there's 24 hours in that day. But how we live it is how we live it. It's the power and the knowledge that we give to it that makes it all work. I know that Spirit likes to purify and filter our thoughts. And I always liken that at my day job, we use what we call a toddy coffee. And it's a gallon of water, 36 ounces of water, a pound of coffee. And it filters through a very thick fabric filter. It takes out all the bitterness, it takes out all of the oil and all of the acidic flavors in the coffee. So what is left is a pure nectar. And every cup of coffee is a fresh cup of coffee. There's nothing but savory in it. So I know the same holds true for our mind. That when we allow that purity of spirit, that purity of thought, deed, and action into our lives, we're welcoming the purity of spirit. You know, God is always good. God is always good all of the time. Why don't we say that together? God is good. God is good all of the time. And God is good all of the time. Because our thought toward that, our mental thought, our mental stimulus is God-directed by means of the individual. I want to urge you too that if you're not feeling that good every single day, if you're not feeling that good at all times when you process life, that if it isn't to your liking, I recommend thought therapy. You know, stinking thinking doesn't accomplish anything. What it does is just create a big mound of stuff. And I know that all of you have the intelligence to move through your stuff. And if it gets real sticky and nasty on your shoes, you have the intelligence to hose off, move on, and live the life of choice. Your choice. Your choice. We're so blessed by Dr. Ernest Holmes and his philosophy and his way of life, and that the empowerment that this gives us, it's the zest in life. To fully live our philosophy, we have the opportunity to increase the activity of love. And it's been spoken in the song today, been spoken in the treatment this morning, spoken in the meditation. That when we expand our consciousness of love, that we allow that wisdom and that love to affect us in a healing, revealing manner. Excuse me. We take our message to the world simply by being our authentic, loving, truthful self. And when we have that encased with the wisdom, the intellect that we have from learning and knowledge, then we have the creme de la creme. We have the best that it is to live our life. So I say, what is your message to the world? What is your message to the world? One of America's most wisdom-filled and an individual that I've always admired, and her writings and the way she thought. She was a first lady by the name of Eleanor Roosevelt, and she penned, "Great minds discuss ideas, average minds discuss events, and small minds discuss people." And I know that all of you, as religious scientists, and here in celebration today, are equipped with great minds to carry you forth, to bring into life that which is the healing, revealing nature and the desires that you have. That is your message to the world. For you, I know your message is clear. And what you present to life and the world is a message of commitment. It's a message of commitment. By the use of your mind, the very use of your mind, you discuss the ideas. Your message is fresh. It's value-filled. It has purpose. It has wisdom. It has the empowerment that you need and require. Dr. Holmes informs us we will never see our mind, and the only proof we have a mind is that we can think. I agree with that. However, being a very visual person, I tend to think I know what's going on in my mind. But when I get this bloated nothingness out of the way, what I see is the purity of spirit and the truth that spirit has for me. It's so easy when we just surrender, turn over, and let that high power, that infinite intelligence, that infinite good be what we want it to be through us. We don't have to do anything. We just have to receive and accept. Processing is important, however. And I am very grateful that I can use that mind. That I have the ability to filter, to know, to see, and to empower myself with the use of the mind.